This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. Now if you know what these initials stand for, NWOBHM, then you are probably of a certain vintage, shall we say. For those who aren't aware of those initials, it stands for the new wave of British heavy metal, which was a genre of rock music that kind of began round about the mid-70s, I would say, through to about the mid-80s, when it, the whole kind of spandex, poodle perm, kind of glam metal sort of thing was beginning to take over. But the new wave of British heavy metal spawned many fantastic bands. Iron Maiden, for example, Saxon, and the similarly named Samson, along with probably Judas Priest. I'd lump them in with this genre. And even Def Leppard's first album, On Through the Night, was considered to be, part of that whole genre. But the band we are talking about today are none of those. That we're going to be talking about the mighty and criminally underrated, I think, band UFO. Now the track we're going to look at today, or the solo we're going to look at today, is from a song called Only You Can Rock Me, which comes from their 1978 album Obsession, and features the then 23-year-old Michael Schenker on lead guitar. Coming up next, you're going to hear the solo and then a brief explanation of what's going on in the solo. Okay, then let's have a quick run through what's going on in this solo, and as always we'll begin with the chord sequence, which starts on an E chord, goes to an A, F sharp minor, then B major. 4 times through that chord sequence, and then we change key as we come out of the solo by going to a C chord. Ignoring that C chord, because it is a key change, you can see that all 4 of those chords, E, A, F sharp minor and B, come from the key of E major. And moreover, we're not just in the key of E major, but we're actually focusing on the E major chord. It's not a given that if you're in the key of E that you're going to be focusing on the E chord. That's the whole kind of business of modes coming into play. I'm not going to go too deep into that at the moment, but in case you're interested, when you're in the key of E and you're focusing on an E chord as the central kind of tonality chord underpinning everything, then you are in the Ionian mode, and that's what makes this solo sound so kind of tuneful and melodic and uplifting and whatever. It's just one of the traits of the Ionian mode. Now let's have a look at the scales that are being used over the top of this. As I say, we're in the key of E major and we're focusing on an E major chord. So no surprises for guessing that, or no prizes really for guessing that we are using the E major pentatonic. That is the basis of the solo, and you can see all of the patterns as you move up the neck there. But we're also adding in extra notes, and as you can see, the notes in the E major pentatonic are E, F sharp, G sharp, B and C sharp. We've got an A chord in the chord sequence, which obviously must contain an A note, so let's add that in. And we've also got a B chord, which contains a D sharp note, so we can add that in as well. And when you add the A and the D sharp notes into an E major pentatonic, you get the E major scale, funnily enough. So that is the basis for what's going on in the solo. There are parts of the solo where the licks are more kind of pentatonic based, and there are other parts of the solo where he's adding in the extra notes and making big use of them. So let's just call it an E major scale solo throughout. I'm not going to go through every lick in the solo because, frankly, once you've got these patterns under your fingers and they're kind of nicely settled into muscle memory, then you should be able to pick out what's going on relatively easily. But I am going to just kind of take a bit of a closer look at one or two of the more intricate licks, starting with this one. I'll play it nice and slow like this. This is the one which happens in bar 4, I think it is, or bar 3 or 4. That lick there, like that, which is one of the more kind of tricky, intricate licks in the solo. It's not too bad once you get your fingers around it and get the stretch there with your little finger. That's an important thing. Don't try playing that with like a 3-fingered grip like that, because it's doable, but you're just making it harder than it needs to be. So once again, here it is. And then hopefully you can get it up to something like that once the muscle memory kicks in. And that's probably the trickiest, most intricate little bit of the solo. But there's another bit, I think, down in bar 7, which goes like this. Like that. It's not really clear, or in terms of being able to hear it clearly on the original recording. And you can hear it, but it's just a little bit kind of in the mix, as it were. So it goes like that, and it was just that when I was figuring it out, it's just that little fast kind of slide there, that kind of slide down there from the 16th to the 14th fret that eluded me a little bit. So there it is right there once more. And then the penultimate lick in the solo, really. It's not particularly a difficult lick, but there's just one little place where you need to do a position shift that kind of makes it or breaks it, really. If you don't do it, it makes it a tricky lick to play. It's the bit that goes like this. And it's that part where it goes like that, because this note here, this E note, going to the F sharp, okay, that F sharp is also there. And if you try playing it, then it just feels awkward to get onto that bend at the end there. So just watch out for that one. Basically make sure you go back to that 14th fret F sharp there rather than the 19th fret F sharp on the B string. And then the lick should just fall under the fingers quite nicely indeed. Right, so that's what's going on in this classic new wave of British heavy metal NWOBHM guitar solo. Have some fun with it, guys. So there you have it. Now I've got to tell you, I think that is a pretty influential solo, because, the whole kind of melodic shred kind of thing that came along in, towards the late 80s, for example. Take a track, for instance, like Liberty, which was the opening track from Steve Vai's album Passion and Warfare. When I first heard that, I thought, dearie me, Steve, you've been listening to a bit of Michael Schenker there, haven't you? Because, it's not in any sense a rip-off, obviously, but it is. I think you can certainly hear the influences going on there. And as always, there is a full tab for that solo in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with a jam track to play along with, and that little clip there that you've just seen of me playing and explaining the solo. All of that is up on my Patreon page. There's there's the address, link in the description, as a special kind of thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Thank you, guys. It is very, very much appreciated. I'm more grateful than I can say for all the support you're giving me. It's only $3 a month if you're thinking about it, and you get all of the additional resources that go along with these YouTube lessons. By the way, in case you're interested, the sound I was using when I was playing that solo is this little patch that I threw together in Guitar Rig. I only mention it because some people have asked what kind of tone I'm using and what I'm plugged into, so now you know. So that's pretty much it for today, chaps. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so, and why not give me a like while you're at it. If you're interested in supporting the channel, as I mentioned, you can join the Patreon, or there's a whole bunch of other things that you can do to help me keep the lights on around here, and thank you so much in advance if you're thinking of doing so, and thank you very much if you already are doing so. Much appreciated. And with that, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you for watching. Thank you so much for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.